Hello, my students. Today is Tuesday, Classroom Tuesday. It's a terrible day. Terrible day. All right, let's go inside. By the way, when you have days like this, when it's cloudy, it's an overcast day. It's an overcast. Overcast. That's the word of the day. So, the mic on? Yes, the mic is on. Okay, before we start the lesson, my students, I want to show you something. Are you ready? You see this? That is my office, my space. Why am I showing you this? Why am I telling you about my space? Now, we all learn in different ways. Some people learn better by doing, others learn better by watching, and so I feel like I am a better learner, or I am more creative if I have a specific place where I learn, or where I do certain things, where I edit my videos, or where I think of future lessons. Why do I feel this way? I feel that if I have a specific place where I learn, or where I focus, or where I want to do creative things, and that place is always the same, right? My office, I always do it here. I feel like my brain recognizes, mi cerebro reconoce el lugar, recognizes the place, and it says, Daniel is in his office right now. He's in his space. It's time for him to focus, because he usually focuses here. Now, this is what works for me. I'm not saying to do what I do and have a space and a specific location where you learn and always learn there and don't learn anywhere else. No. What I am saying is find out how and where and with who you learn better with. And by knowing and understanding this, you will be one step closer to improving your learning. All right, time for the lesson. Today, we are going to learn about verbs. More specifically, the t sound. It'll all make sense in a little bit, I promise. So, what is a verb? A verb is an action, something you do, like walk, or talk, or jog. These are all verbs because they're actions. It's something that you do. Now, verbs involve more than just actions, but today we are going to focus on action verbs in the past tense. So, let's say we have the word walk. Walk. That is a verb because it's something you do. But if I were talking about the past, I wouldn't say, yesterday I walked to the park. No. You mark this word to imply the past. How? Simple. You add ed. The ed makes it past tense. But how do you pronounce it now? Do you say, yesterday I walked to the park? No. It makes sense that you would say it that way, but English is weird that way. But just know that you don't say walked. So, what do you say? You say walked. Walked. Not walked. No. It's spelled that way. But in English, we don't pronounce words how they're spelled. I'm sorry, guys. My students, I'm sorry, but in English, that's usually the case, okay? Walked, not walked, no, walked. So you would say, yesterday I walked to the park. Walked. Say it. Walked. Now, is this always the case? No, not always the case. Sometimes ed is pronounced id. Sometimes it's pronounced duh, like a d, duh, duh. But today we are going to focus on verbs in the past tense that end with this sound here, t, t, okay? So, how do we know which verbs in the past tense receive the t sound, like walked, walked? How do we know? Is there a trick? Is there a pattern? What's going on? Don't worry. I'm going to teach you, okay? You see these letters here? P, K, and F, right? The P, the K, and the F. The sounds are P, K, F. What do these three sounds or letters have in common? They are all consonants. Voiceless consonants. What is a voiceless consonant? Voiceless is sin voz. Why is it called voiceless? I'll show you. You see the B, the B. Make the P sound. P. 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 Now, make the B sound. B. You see how to make the P sound and the B sound, you do almost exactly the same thing. B, P, P, B. You're doing the same thing. So what's the difference? The difference is that to make the B sound, you have to use your voice. B. It comes from here. B. P comes from here. P, P. Same thing with K, 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 and F, F, K. It comes from here, not here. That is why these are called voiceless consonants. And there are many more. There are many more. These are only three. Okay? If you want to know what are the rest of the voiceless consonants, they're down in the description below. Okay? Like I said, I don't want to give you too much information, my students, okay? I want to keep it simple for you all so you can learn better, okay? All right, so get rid of this B because we don't need the B, right? The B gets a different ending. It gets a duh, not a t, a duh, but that's another lesson, okay? We're focusing on the t today. T, walk, t. Okay, so if the verb ends with a voiceless, no voice, remember from here, not here, voiceless consonant, it receives a t sound at the end. For example, slipped, right? Slipped, not slipped. What is the last letter of slip? It's P, slip. So, since the last letter of slip is a P, what sound does it receive? The T sound. T, right? Because this is a voiceless sound. What about K? Same thing. For example, what is the last letter of lick? You know, to lick, lick. It's a K. Ah, a K. So what sound does it receive? Yes. The T. Not licked. No, remember. Licked. Licked. F. Ends with a voiceless consonant. So it receives a T, right? Sniffed. And when you think about it, my students, it actually makes sense. I know English is crazy. I know English sometimes is so difficult to understand. but it actually makes sense. Why does it make sense? What do P, K, F, P, K, and F, and T have in common? T is also a voiceless consonant, right? T, T. It comes from here, T. Not here, not duh. No, that's voiced. Duh. T, T. So it makes sense that if a word, a verb, ends with a P, a K, or an a F, or any other voiceless consonant, it makes sense for the verb to have a T ending and not a duh or an ud. But that's, like I said, another lesson. All right, now time for the exercise, my students. For this exercise, you are going to correct me. You are going to be the teacher, and I am going to be the student. I am going to say several verbs aloud incorrectly, past tense verbs, and you have to correct me. Are you ready? Let's get started. Yesterday, I walked to the park. What? It's not walked? No. What is it then? Walked with a T. T. Walked. Okay. Yesterday, I walked to the park. Is that better? All right. Yesterday, I slipped on the floor. Slipped, right? Slipped? No. Is it slipped? Slipped? Slipped. It slipped? With a T again? Slipped? Like walked? Slipped? Okay, what about sniff? It's sniff ed, right? It's sniff ed. It has to be sniff ed. It's not sniff ed? You're telling me sniff ed is not sniff ed. It's sniffed with a T. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Walked, jumped, sniffed. Alrighty. It makes sense. I understand it. It makes sense. All right, excellent job, my students. Excellent job. Comment a sentence below using at least one of these verbs that you've learned. At least one of them. And then say your sentence aloud several times. That's all for today. See you next time.